Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective. Happy Friday! Everybody made it! It's Friday! Woo! Hooray for Friday. All right, it is Aloha Oracle Friday, and the way this works is I always do guidance cards in the morning anyway, but on Oracle Friday, I use a very different deck, the Yes or No deck, or Angel Answers deck. Good morning, Eileen. Just for people who might be new, on Oracle Friday, don't worry about where the message is coming from, okay? Because I have all different sorts of decks. Just focus on the message, especially if you've been waiting for an answer or a sign or something. It may or may not come through. Even if you're watching this later, it doesn't matter. If the answer is meant for you, it will be there for you, even if I don't know you. But also, the way I do these things is I will take a card, I will read, or I will tell you what card it is, and then I will give you my interpretation of it, what I get from tapping in, and then I will also read the book, because I like everyone to have all different perspectives, right? The original intention of the card plus what I'm gathering from it. So again, don't worry about where the message is coming from, just focus on the message itself. So let's get rolling with the... Nothing seems to want to come out, so we'll just start from the top. Number 1, the situation will improve. We've gotten this one before. In fact, I think this has shown up almost every week for the last 3 weeks. So I'm going to take that as a sign, because a lot of interesting things have been happening in just the last 24 hours, and I am super, super giddy about that. So if you're waiting, if something's going on in your life and you're just sitting there like, don't give up 5 seconds before the miracle, all right? Don't give up, 2 feet from the finish line, because that's where regret comes in. Okay. Oh, the last thing about the card readings. If it does not resonate with you, please do not try to force it. That's how we end up overthinking. That's how we end up just, going out of our minds, trying to understand, why doesn't this card, why isn't it telling me what I want to hear? Well, usually you're not going to hear what you want to hear. You're going to hear what you need to hear. But more importantly, if it doesn't resonate, it is probably not for you. We don't always get the answers we want in every single reading. And like I said, I only do these on Fridays. Monday through Thursday are topics through the Aloha Perspective. But I finish it off fun, right? We finish off the week fun. So the situation will improve. Let's see what the book has to say about that. Your angels want you to know, or your source or higher power, that they are aware that things look difficult right now. However, the situation is going to improve. It may take some time, and there will most likely be some hard work ahead of you, but the effort you put forth will be worth it, and things are going to get better. Now is not the time to give up on wounded friendships or ailing relationships. There is still hope for the future. Take heart and continue to work toward a partnership where both parties are fulfilled and happy in the future. Now that gives a bunch of different meanings, right? Don't give up. If there's a relationship, work on it. And it's not just a romantic relationship. If you're having problems with maybe a partner in business, or family, or friends, or even just coworkers, the situation will improve. But it's like I was telling somebody the other day. They had to work in a place that they are not overly familiar with and not very happy to be. And that's understandable. I mean, everybody likes their home base, right? Everybody likes where they're comfortable, where they know. But remember, when you first got to wherever it is that you were working, or wherever it is you are now, you were once new there. And sometimes you just have to make the best of it. Otherwise, you're going to go crazy, and you're going to be bored, and you're going to be resentful, waiting for that time to pass. Time goes faster when you just kind of embrace it and go with the flow. I know sometimes it's easier said than done. If you believe. Okay, now I got a Cher song ringing through my head. But, excuse me, that got caught in my throat. If you believe. Good morning, older sibling. Welcome. It's funny. I wasn't going to talk about what happened yesterday, because it is mildly embarrassing in some ways, but it's also amazing at what happened. But if you believe, and you keep your heart and your mind, well, not your mind, sometimes your mind can hold you back, but if you believe and you keep your heart open and you trust and you have an intention, a prayer, a manifestation out there that you were waiting to come to fruition, or you were waiting for a resolution to, when you believe, these things can happen. And they probably will happen. They're just not going to happen in the way you think they are. So older sibling and I were talking, and this isn't what I was about to say, but it just dawned on me right now to share this too. So the appointment older sibling has been going for is to get new teeth. Okay, and it has been really kind of a sticking point and a low point in her life the last few years, because having CRPS and RSD has kind of worn down her bones. So the caps that she had started to fall out. And, you know, you can only do so much of your own self-help dental work before it just starts going bad. But unfortunately, because they started falling out and there were no teeth to support her mouth, everything starts to cave in, right? She even talks about how I can't wait to have my lips back. Well, I don't get how facial stuff works, okay? I'm not a plastic surgeon, but this is what she's having done. And as most people know, it's a very expensive process and not exactly in the budget for, you know, this house. But she found somebody. They worked with her. And, you know, it's not like she hasn't tried before. She's tried. But it feels like after we super gratituded this stuff and really kind of started putting that vibration out there that we need this to happen now. Because even the doctor told her it's starting to affect internal things in her head. So like sinuses and all this stuff. So it's important that she gets it done ASAP. But somehow, you know, with the help of her her former husband. I don't know how to put it because they're not married anymore, but they're still like best friends. But with the help from him and her super rad negotiating skills, and the doctor and the nurse being willing to negotiate, she was able to work out something. So now we're in the early stages where all they have to do is get her paperwork from her two doctors, and poof, they have set her up for an appointment. She'll get her temporaries, which is going to be a long process, so, because obviously they have a lot of dental work they have to do. They'll give her temporaries. She can't really chew on them, but she'll be able to smile again, right? Just in time for no more masks. But that happened, and it was just like, wow, what an amazing thing. I mean, out of nowhere, but it's not really out of nowhere. When I say that when we ask for something or manifest or pray, when you say this or something better, again, you're expanding the playing field. You know, or the wishing field, if you will. You're expanding it and allowing your source, whatever it is that you put your higher power in, you're expanding it so they have a lot more wiggle room. If you just say, I want this, they're going to be like, okay, then go get it, because you're not giving me enough space. Or it could take longer because, you know, you're asking for something very specific. And with people, I'm pretty sure being specific does not work, because there's free will. If they're meant for you, they will be yours. If they're not meant for you, then you might be missing out on that or something better, because you might actually be missing out on the person that is meant for you, because you're too busy worrying about one specific person coming into your life. Now, if you know, because some people do know, but you got to wait for the other side to connect, right? So, you know, when you have intuitive people in your life, but that's, I think that's just a very rare scenario. So the other day, good morning, baby sibling. So the card is If You Believe. And sibling and I were coming up on a very important deadline for a bill that, you know, we were still struggling to figure out how to pay, because as I mentioned, I'm out of work, still trying to find work, and she's on disability. And we emailed back the person in charge of all this, and they sent us an email back saying, I just wanted you to know that you're current. An anonymous person paid your bill. We have a feeling we know who it is. We're not 100% sure, but when we first emailed the person in charge, they were copied on it. A couple of people were copied on it, but they were the ones that responded. So we have a pretty good idea who it is. But we didn't see that coming. I was literally in tears. I mean, not because somebody had paid it, but because somebody had thought of us. Because somebody had really kind of reached out. And this isn't someone we know all that well, but it's someone we know, and usually just hellos in passing. But it was just so touching that somebody really cared that much and really thought about us. And they didn't have to do that, but they did it. And it was just like, wow. You know? And then there was another thing, the very last thing that happened yesterday. And, you know, this is what I mean about believing. When you put something out there, it will find a way to work. I've been wanting to go to WonderCon, never been. The last time I had a badge for it, COVID shut it down the next week. Literally. First time I ever finally had the opportunity to go, and COVID killed me. So, well, you know, that sounded bad, but you know what I mean. It kind of killed all the plans. And so, good morning, Auntie. And so last night I was thinking about WonderCon all day. I said, gosh, that would have been kind of cool to go, but I'm not sure, this, that, and the other. And something told me, go onto Twitter. So I go onto Twitter, and I see right there San Diego Comic-Con. And I thought, oh, I have a notification, San Diego Comic-Con. And I clicked on it, and the message was only 15 minutes old. But it says, we're looking for volunteers. I got in so early that I can actually volunteer any day I want, or all 3 days. I probably won't do all 3 days. But, because I'm not really sure I'm not really sure... I think WonderCon is just a very small version of Comic-Con in San Diego, which, you know, I love. But I've just always been curious about it. So your volunteer time is usually a couple of hours, and then you're free to do whatever you want. You know, like you literally have a badge. And you get a cool button that says you volunteered, right? So that's a special button, because nobody else gets it unless you're a volunteer. And yeah, I'm an only child, so I'm kind of that way. So, but I believed. And all these things started falling into my lap. And even today I woke up thinking, ooh, what's going to happen today? What exciting things are going to happen today? So, just trust. Okay. Believing is trusting. And the reason I wanted to point out those 3 examples isn't because I'm bragging, isn't because I'm trying to make anyone feel bad. It's because we weren't sure, but we were trusting. I finally was learning how to trust. And these were signs for me that says, when you put something out there and you let your higher power or whoever take care of it and stop trying to control it, things are going to happen. Things are going to fall into place. They may not fall into place the way you want them to, but they'll fall into place the way they are able to. Okay, so if you believe, what you need right now is faith. See? What you need right now is faith. You can have what you desire, but you must believe that it can be so. Stay positive and visualize the outcome you're hoping for. Set aside all negativity or pessimism in favor of a sunny outlook. The law of attraction brings us to what we expect to receive. It is our perception that we deserve great things, then we will attract... if it is our perception that we deserve great things, then we will attract happiness. If we fall into doubt and don't believe in our own self-worth, then our experiences will match that energy. Believe in yourself and your cherished dreams. What do I always keep telling you? I keep writing on my arm. I am worth it. It's not just because I'm trying to remind myself, but it's because every time I see those words, I am worth it, I feel like a little spark inside of me. I feel a little bit of that joy. And when you start matching the vibrations of what you want, it'll start finding a way to you because you are on the same frequency. I know that may not mean a lot to some people. I know you may think I'm just talking out of my ass, but there is a frequency that we all exist on. And, you know, no matter what you believe, it's there. It's a thing. It's just, you know, some people say, oh, that's that metaphysical bullshit. You know what? That metaphysical bullshit is just seeing what other people refuse to see. It's just like in religion, right? How many people believe in God, but other people don't? And yet there are other people who say, well, I don't believe in one particular thing, but I know there's something out there. Because how can all this stuff be happening? Even my dad and I were talking about that the other day. He said, well, I don't think there's a God. He's all because God wouldn't let what's happening in the world happen in the world. And I told him, well, there's free will. But I said, you also have to remember, not everybody believes in the same God you do. It may all be the same person, maybe, whatever you believe in. I'm not going to challenge that for you, because I'm not here to tell you what to believe in or what not to believe in. But everybody has a different perception. And sometimes that can cause chaos. But there is also free will. Man is in charge of themselves. But what they can do, whoever your higher power is, or whatever it is you believe in, the universe, the law of attraction, when you match the vibration of what you want, and you truly believe that it can happen for you, it is going to happen for you. Excuse me, I don't know what that was. It's going to happen to you. I know that in the past I said possibly, but I truly believe it will happen to you or for you. And the reason I say that is because I have seen, out of the 3 examples that I gave you, things come to fruition that I had hoped and prayed for and set intentions for, set manifestations for, but they didn't come the way I thought they would come. They came to us in the way they were meant to come. And on top of that, the nurse at older siblings' dentist's office actually knows who her parents are. She's a jazz fan from all the way back to now. The doctor is an aspiring violinist, or I don't know if he's aspiring or just is a violinist, but there was just all this musical background. These are people she instantly connected to. And because that was her field of expertise, because that was something she grew up in, she was able to connect with them. And she already has this, joyful, wonderful vibe. So they pick up on that. And they're like, you know what? We're going to do what we can to help you. And then, of course, Steve jumped in, her bestie. Steve jumped in and offered to help too. And also because she reached out. She had helped him a long time ago. And, sometimes when you help someone, it may be paid back in this lifetime. It may not. But in this case, it may have taken a while. But it didn't take as long as, to our higher powers, it was saving it for a rainy day. And most people, including all of us who I know are watching right now, don't do things because we're expecting something back. We do it because it feels like the right thing to do. And your higher power, the universe, whatever it is that you believe in, they see that. And they will save that rain check for a rainy day. So let's go to the next card. Wait. I don't even have an idea on what wait is. Wait. I'm just going to read that one from the book because I have no clue. Wait. Tell me to wait. I've been waiting all my life. Baby sibling just probably rolling her eyes right now like, I know. Your situation is going to require a little patience. Your angels are not saying no, but they are saying not yet. Sometimes heaven needs a little extra time to make all the pieces fall perfectly into place. What you are asking for may have an effect on the lives of others. When that occurs, it can take additional preparation to make sure that everyone's needs are seen to. Be patient so that all who are involved can have the experience they are meant to have. I know baby sibling gets where I'm going with this one, because it was literally a thought in my head before I started the live. But there are some things that you just try to manifest into your life, and you sit there and go, what the fuck? What the actual fuck? How much longer do I have to wait? It feels like you're standing in this never-ending, ongoing, time-bending, where time doesn't exist line, and you're just like, seriously? And other people are getting pulled out of the line, and you're just like, really? But I guess that's where patience comes in. Older sibling. Yeah, you've been waiting all of your life, but here you are. Yes, here I am. But you know what? It falls under the category. It is what it is. If you're waiting for something, don't stop living. If you have stopped living, re-find your passion. Re-find what it is that brings you joy. Rediscover. Re-find. Really? Oh, God. It's Friday. Rediscover what brings you joy, what sparks the pilot light of your soul and sets your soul on fire. Rediscover those things. Bring joy to yourself, because the more you start to vibrate, again, on a higher level, the happier you are. You know, maybe vibration for some people doesn't work, but the happier you are, the more you're going to draw to you. Have you ever noticed or really taken note that when you're having the most spectacular day, everything seems to fall into place, everything's going right, and you go home and you're like, you know, whoever you go home to, or if you go home to your cat, oh my God, I had the best day today, everything just worked out. And then maybe a couple days later, you know, maybe you wake up late or something, but the one thing just throws a wrench in your whole beginning part of your day, and then everything goes wrong, and you go home to your dog or your cat again and your fish, and you're like, I had a spectacular shit show of a day. It's because of your energy. What you put out there is what is going to come back to you. Okay? So, one more card from the angel decks and we'll get to the other one in the near future. So there you go. Maybe this one goes with wait, because it's going to happen in the near future. That's exciting. Look, there's 2 angels. Ooh, there's 2 angels in that one. So whatever you're waiting for, just be patient. Okay, trust, believe. You know, it's amazing because these cards actually go together. The situation will improve if you believe, but wait and be patient. Don't give up. Okay? I'm feeling that card now. When it says wait, it's telling you not to give up. Don't quit 5 feet before the finish line. Don't quit 5 seconds before the miracle. Don't turn around, you know, and go home. Keep going, keep pushing forward, because it's going to happen in the near future. Now, hopefully they mean human time and not their time. All right, but still, okay, I know that's not exactly believing, is it? Just believe. All right, when you believe, good things can happen. So what you are asking about will occur very soon, so you won't have to wait much longer. Wait much longer. Stay optimistic and continue upon your current path. Be open to receiving. Be open to receiving. All right. I don't know. Feel kind of naked just doing 4 cards. Oh, there it is. I wasn't going to pull the last one, but I did. Trust. Do I even need to read the book on this one? No, I don't. Because trust says it all right there. But I will read it just for you because you guys are so patient with me. I thought I would check to see the next card. No need to worry. All right, are we done? Oh, remain positive and look for a sign. I could go all day, you guys. These cards are like in the perfect order. I mean, oh my God, what are the odds? Seriously, what are the odds? Let's go over this one more time. All right, so here we go. Your situation will improve if you believe, but wait, don't quit, okay? Don't turn around or stop right before the miracle happens or the finish line, or you get to the finish line, because in the near future, if you trust, there will be no need to worry. So remain positive, all right? And if you want to, look for a sign. I am dying. I am dying. That is, wow. I mean, like I said, we were going to stop at 4 and I ended up going 3 more cards. Oh, wow. I am. Wow. I'm just going to read the trust one because I think the other ones are pretty clear. And I know trust should be pretty clear, but I get it. Right? Baby sibling says it's like the perfect sentence. It really is. It's kind of freaky. This is a time for trust. Sometimes there is no yes or no to a question. There are situations where we are better served by not knowing what is to come so that the miracle can unfold before our eyes. Like children opening a gift, part of the magic of our lives is found in the joy of the surprise. Trust that your angels have something amazing in store for you, even if they can't quite tell you what it is yet. There's a great scene in the show Mom. They have this guy. I know I can hear her. I mean, I cannot physically hear her, but I can hear her in my head giggling already. Older sibling and I watched the show Mom. And of course, they're in the reruns now because it's no longer on air. But they have this one guy who I think, it was only in 2 episodes, I think, that he played Jesus. All right. I mean, this guy was like the perfect Jesus. But just his attitude and his all around demeanor and the way he embodied this character. And in the show, she had lost the first love of her life. And as you find out later in the show, she actually finds somebody new. But he's like a season or 2 away still, or maybe a season away. But they're talking in her dream, and she's all, and basically what she says is, when does it stop hurting? And he says, when you wake up. And she wakes up, and she's like, okay, I get it. But before that, when she walks into the kitchen, she's like, what are you doing here? And then she's like, well, why would you take him away from me? And, why would you leave me here? And he's all like, he did what he had to do. He had to make peace with you and, his daughter. And his time was up. And in his case, it was borrowed time, as they kind of imply on the show. But then he sits there and he says, there's still a lot of things you have to do with so-and-so and so-and-so, so-and-so. And I almost gave that one away. So see, I know it's just a TV show, but these are the kind of things that speak to us. They're the kind of things that say, oh, something good is going to happen, but you're just going to have to wait to find out what it is. All right. So that's where trusting comes in. Trusting is not something I'm good at, okay? But I'm working on it. And as I've made a point of saying, I have chosen to trust a lot of different situations in my life, and they all 3 have worked out. And it was amazing how they worked out. Because with the exception of being a volunteer for WonderCon, which was just a magical happening, because I wasn't expecting that, and it's really going to push me out of my comfort zone because now I'll have to interact with people. But I know, I'm so out of practice with that. But we trusted, and things worked out. And they worked out in a way that we didn't see coming, but it also reminded us and showed us the kindness of other people. Okay, and that's what I think we all a lot of times we forget. So for anybody who thinks that I planned that, I did not. I did not plan those cards. That was just freaking amazing. But anybody else would know who was here in, if you're watching later and you're seeing it from the beginning, you saw me shuffle those cards. So that could be the sign you're looking for. That's everything right there. Those are the signs, right? The sign is the first 6 or 7 cards that were in that deck, telling you to trust and believe and wait, and don't give up. Everything will improve. So, we got 3 on that one. How about them apples? All right, number 1, flow. Right, flow. One of the things I love about Oracle Friday is we only do this on Friday. One of the things I love about Oracle Friday are how all the cards sometimes seem to just kind of blend together. So we just had all those other ones from the Angel Answers deck. Now we have flow. And flow goes along with those because it's telling you to go with the flow. It's telling you to let things unfold before you. If you try to control it and you try to force it, you are not going with the flow. You are simply trying to create an outcome. And what happens when, I know that a lot of people who watch these may not be parents, but at some point we all have kids or have interacted with kids in our lives, right? I have nephews, and I have seen baby sibling trying to explain things to my nephews, and they keep cutting her off. Like, but mom. And then she'll finally get them to stop. She'll explain it, and they're like, oh. That's kind of the same thing with the flow. If you keep trying to tell them how to make your stuff happen, it's going to take longer to happen because you were trying to control it. You were trying to make it happen. You were trying to find the answer, even though you've asked them to help you with the answer. So go with the flow. Let them finish what they're trying to say, okay, as the example, or let them finish what you've asked them to do. A lot of times things don't happen in our time, and it can be frustrating. Trust me, I know. But when they do happen, just remember when these things have happened to you and you have felt that joy because you're like, oh my God. I mean, yesterday with what happened to us, with older sibling and I, it brought tears to my eyes because we weren't expecting that. It was a tremendous, tremendous gift. And I've had people that have helped me in the last couple of months too. And to them, I am very grateful. And even that kind of made me teary because I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't asking for it. But it was really kind and generous. And it really was about vibrating on that certain level, about going with the flow. So let's see. What's the card for flow? 28. Ooh, 28. I say that because it equals 10. I know, there goes my brain. Flow is the natural balance of all beings and things. The movement of the ocean and the cycles of the moon are all perfect examples of flow. They are ever changing without judgment and they are ever changing without judgment and of fluid form. Much like the ocean, the human experience of flow can be rather unpredictable. However, it is always as it should be. It is time for you to be aware of what your flow is without judgment. This can mean anything from a minor change in daily habits that will put you more at ease to a major decision concerning career that may lead to a huge positive shift in your life. Staying in your flow simply requires the awareness of how your energy is affected by your thoughts or experiences, and choosing the thoughts or experiences that feed into your flow instead of taking you out of it. So, I think that the last part is perfect. Staying in your flow simply requires the awareness of how your energy is affected by your thoughts or experiences, and choosing the thoughts or experiences that feed into your flow instead of taking out of it. You know, this is what I talked about yesterday, which this whole gesture seems to be making a comeback now. Okay. And what I mean by that is what you say is what you hear, which is what your brain processes, and that's what you see. And that's the same thing with your flow. If you were speaking negative, that's what you're hearing, and that's all you're going to see. That's all you're going to, draw to yourself, because that's where your head is. I get it. I am at bottom. Okay, but I don't stop doing these because my bottom isn't everybody's bottom. My bottom is me knowing I have to find a way out, up and out. And I feel like I'm starting to get those boosts now because I had to make the conscious decision to change the way I was thinking, to change my thought process, to dig deep and say, you know what? Even though everything feels like it's going horribly wrong, and I feel like I just have an elephant sitting on my chest and on my shoulders, I have to make the conscious choice to believe and to trust and to start to vibrate higher, to start to feel better about myself, to start to remind myself that this too shall pass because I am worth it. When we start to believe that we are worth it, amazing things can happen. Miracles of sorts. We always think of miracles as, Jesus raising someone from the dead. But Jesus also turned water into wine. That's a miracle. I know I'm getting a little religious here and stepping out of the zone for some people, but that's my point. A lot of times when we use the word miracle, we're looking for these grand gestures. A miracle is a flower pushing through the dirt, as it's on its way to growing and blooming. A miracle is when you're walking down the street and you see this tiny little, even if it's just a weed, you see this tiny little plant coming up from a crack. Right? Because it's pushed its way through. It's found a way. As they said in Jurassic Park, life will find a way. Not the kind of life we want, but hey, I know I always go in some stupid direction. But that's the point of flow. If you try to control it, it is either going to take longer or it's not going to be able to happen. Okay, think of flow and it not working. So flow is a river. Controlling it is damming up that river and not letting the water flow, not letting the water through, or not letting the water flow. And that's the same with energy, intentions, prayers, manifestations, whatever you call it. When you try to control it, you're putting up that dam, and you are halting the progress. You are interrupting the flow. All right, so the next card, Power. Ooh, Madame Laveau. Marie Laveau. I said that for baby sibling. I'm not sure if she's still on, but Madame Laveau. I love her. She's pretty awesome. Let's see. Marie Laveau was the epitome of power and grace within the community of New Orleans. Not only was she known as an astute businesswoman, but she was also the go-to person for the spiritual remedies of everyday life. If you had drawn this card, you had been called to embrace all aspects of yourself and to rise to every occasion with confidence. Right? No, you know I did not see these cards, and yet what I just said is almost like it's directed also to me, saying you know what you need to do to rise. Okay, so, hi baby sibling, thanks, okay, thank you. If you have drawn this card, you've been called to embrace all aspects of yourself and to rise to every occasion with confidence. You are so much more than the mundane daily tasks that often bog you down. New opportunities will help you explore the different ways you can express yourself and feel more fulfilled. So remember, you are not your job. Okay? And when I say that, you are not the chores you do. You are not the drive in traffic. You are what you bring to the situation. If you excel at your work, it's because of you. And because you're good at it, right? And if you have a bad day, that's not you. It's just a bad day. You know, we don't all have perfect days. Sorry. Truth alert. But it's what you bring to the experience. You know, I know people who live and die by their work. You know, Sissy was one of them. But it defined her. And yet when she was out of work, I mean, not out of work, like lost a job. I mean, when she was not working and she was hanging out with us, she was like a whole different person. She'd cut loose. She would just be like, woo, you know, just sisters. But when she, you know, but a lot of times she had trouble letting go of work. And sometimes it would interfere with what we were doing. We would be on vacation and she'd be working. And that's okay, because that was her thing. But she believed it was who she was. But she was so much more than that. She was fun. She was energetic. She was crazy like the rest of us. But it's what filled her cup. Instead of the joy she got from doing what she did being a bonus in her life, it defined her. And I'm not trying to put her down, because, you know, some people are just like that, and that's okay. Not here to judge. You do you. But don't let other things interfere with your personal life. Don't let other things interfere with your personal relationships. Whether it's romantic, friends, family, you know, even coworkers. Right? We have to find that balance. And I think that's kind of what it's saying here too. Recognize who you are. Recognize what you bring to the table. You know, this joyous person. You know, just because you're outside living your life and you're not getting the accolades and the kudos for it, doesn't mean that you're not a great person. Because you don't know what other people are saying behind your back. I don't think Sissy had any idea how many people absolutely adored her outside of work. And they did. Because she was fun. She was charismatic. She had energy. You know? So, number 22, speak your truth. Speak your truth. Yeah, lately that's been my thing. I'm waiting for it to get me in trouble one of these days. Because my filter seems to be dead. Being aware of your feelings is one thing, but learning how to express how you feel in a calm and balanced manner can sometimes be a challenge. What did I just say? Seriously. All right, this card is probably speaking to me too. It is important to understand that speaking your truth does not mean that it will be understood or accepted by others, and it doesn't need to be. The only thing that matters is that you are able to give your feelings a voice and acknowledge how you truly feel. The more you are able to acknowledge and identify how you genuinely feel, the stronger the relationship you have with yourself will become. It is not about being right or wrong. It is simply about knowing and practicing what it means to honor yourself through verbal communication. Now is the time to speak your truth freely. So it kind of goes with the Madame Laveau card, right? Where she says, rise to who you are. Accept your confidence, see your confidence. You don't have to be mean when you're talking and speaking, or when you're speaking your truth. And you really shouldn't be trying to change other people's minds. Okay, everybody has an opinion. That includes you who is speaking and me. And but I believe what this is saying is that it's also saying don't just lay down because somebody said something. And even if you disagree with it, you don't want to start a fight. Just say, you know what? Well, I may not necessarily agree with that, but, I accept your opinion. Let's agree to disagree. Sometimes that works wonders. All right, let's go with our last deck. Those angel answers took up a lot of time. Wow. Okay, I'm not sure what that one's for. I definitely know that one's not for me. But I pulled it anyways. Let's see. So, the healing with the fairies. Remember, guys, it's not where the message comes from. It's about the message itself. Okay? So, let's see. Alright, we'll just go from the top on these two. So, the first one. Parenting. Trying to see what this card is. Oh, I see. Parenting and children. Parenting and children. So, let's see. I have no idea on that one. I'm not getting anything. A positive change is occurring for you in the area of parenting. An unexpected occurrence will herald a happy outcome between you and a parent, a child, or both. Family units are extremely important to the fairy realm. They understand the value of taking care of these relationships. The fairies never allow hurt feelings to fester. They promptly discuss misunderstandings and they share their feelings honestly with one another. By drawing this card, you are urged to face up to any ill feelings you may have with family members and take human and spiritual steps to effect a healing. This card may also signal that a new family member is coming into your life. This could mean a new child or a new family member by marriage. It could also signify the return of a family member with whom you've lost contact. These changes come to you on heaven's wings, meaning that you are safe, protected, and will derive enjoyment from them. So if that resonates with you, more power to you. Just stay open. Okay, stay open to any possibilities. All right. If you're willing, you have to be a complete participant in that, or it will not work, or it will not feel right. So that's your choice. But if you're a parent, sometimes just trying to work through something with a child it can help them more than just yelling at them. Okay, because sometimes people will shut down. So, like I said, I'm not a parent, not trying to overstep. These are just things I see with my nephews, with the very sparse amount of nieces I have. Seriously, can somebody have a girl? But so, just those things. And I've seen how they handle it. And there's so much respect between parent and child. And I see how that works. And it's a beautiful thing to watch, So, the next one, look inside yourself. Shadow work. Look inside yourself. I think that one's pretty cut and dry. We talk about shadow work all the time, right? About how you have to go in, and heal all this stuff. If things feel like they are not right, there is probably something in you that needs to be healed. And it may feel like crap. It may feel like somebody is literally dragging you over the hot coals. But when you come out the other side, it's a very amazing feeling. It's a very fantastic and fabulous feeling. Yeah, there may be some confusion in how to feel when you come out of it, because you're being faced with a clean slate without all this negative stuff just following you, like you have your own personal band playing sad music behind you, so just try to embrace it. and navigate it as slowly as you need to. Life is not a race. Okay, it's a journey. And if you rush through it, you're going to miss all that beautiful scenery along the way. So take time to look. Take time to be present in the moment. All right? So look inside yourself. You've been trying to find satisfaction through outside sources, such as material possessions or relationships. You're also looking for help from other people. The fairies ask you to look within for the answers you need. Sometimes when you feel empty, your first reaction is to try and fill up the emptiness by acquiring something or someone. You may fall in the trap of thinking, I'll be happy if or when I have so this is in parentheses. If or when I have a new lover, an advanced degree, a better wardrobe, etc. Then when you get to the new acquisition, you only feel satisfied for a little while. The fairies remind you that the only source of true fulfillment is by connecting with spirit within. Have a mental conversation with your creator and feel yourself filled with divine love. The same holds true if you're searching for answers from outside authorities. Now, there's nothing wrong with seeking counsel from wise friends, especially if their advice echoes what you know to be true. But perhaps you've been asking your friends, mentors, or psychics for solutions and you feel confused by conflicting advice. So if everyone is telling you different solutions, you'll need to meditate on what your inner guidance is telling you. In my own experience, if you keep going because you're not getting the answer you want, your angels or your higher power is basically telling you need to figure it out yourself. There'll be times when I have the answer to something and I'll ask baby sibling and she's like, I'm getting bananas. And for her, bananas means like basically what we would say, you're bananas. Seriously, you're just a whole bunch of bananas, or you're crazy. But what her bananas means is that you already know the answer, or I'm not allowed to tell you because you need to figure it out yourself. And I think a lot of times we don't trust ourselves enough. And that's kind of what this card is talking about when it says, look inside, look within yourself. All the answers you need are there. But a lot of times we don't want to hear it the way it's being presented, or we don't want to hear the answer. If we know something's not right for us, but we keep asking, well, why can't it be? Won't it be? Is there a chance? Will it happen? Maybe it's a job you want, but it's not a job that you're meant to have, because it won't challenge you in the long run, or it won't do this, that, or the other for you in the long run, or maybe a relationship or something, or even just things in your own personal life that you're trying to figure out. Like, this is not something you really want to do, but it offers all these opportunities. But does it? How do you know that the other one doesn't? I mean, you may end up at one place and someone may come in and swoop you, they may just totally headhunt you right out of that office. But you may not have seen that coming. I was talking to an old coworker, and there was one girl that used to work with us in a different office, and she was part of our risk department. And the company started working with a whole new company to help them, with their daily work, a specific software. She ended up working for that company. Now, if she would have told her boss that recruited her into this area, no, I think I'm happy over here, I'm going to stay here, she would have never had that opportunity. So she was there for a few years, she did what she had to do in this company, and then she got headhunted right into a new one. And for people that don't understand headhunters, they are basically people who look for the best candidate to find a job for. But some people actually take it upon themselves, say, hey, you'd be great in our company. Give it a thought. How many times have you seen that happen? I've seen it happen. I used to sit at the front desk. I saw it happen a lot. But when we close ourselves off to these opportunities and we don't believe in ourselves, and we're constantly questioning everybody, hoping to get the answer we want to hear, then you're not really tuning into yourself. What you're tuning into is your desires, your thoughts, as opposed to what you truly, truly want on the inside. Follow your spidey instincts, okay? If you know the answer, trust it. Don't ask 5 million people, okay? If you need to get Feedback from one or two people, fine. If they both give you the same answer that you already have, then you know it's the right answer. Don't go to a third one. You do not need an outside party to figure out what you already know. Because it's either fear that's holding you back or you don't trust yourself. Now, if you ask one person and they're like, not so much. So you don't like that answer. And then you go to the next person. They're like, oh yeah, go for it. That means that you have the answer within and you have to decide which one's best for you. Okay, that's your fork in the road. And you get to make a choice. And I say go with your spidey instincts, because that's what's going to lead you down the right road. Usually when you get two different answers, it's because you need to look inside, or you need to trust what your heart and your soul are telling you. Don't overthink it. Okay, I am a master. I used to be a master of overthinking, and overthinking is not a fun place to be. The island of overthinking sits in the sea of misery, and it's a terrible place. Okay, because it is surrounded by a ton of anchors called the anchors of dread, and they're all waiting for a boat to attach to. All right, so trust yourself. Believe in what you're thinking. Believe in you. Believe in you. Trust, right? I'm going to finish this up with going over these cards one more time, because they were just fabulous. I still can't believe them. The situation will improve, right? If you believe. But wait, don't quit right before the miracle. Don't quit right before the finish line, because it's going to happen in the near future if you trust. So there's no need to worry. Remain positive. And if you need to, look for a sign. All of these can be your sign. Okay? All of those really pretty much are your sign. They're telling you, hey, just stay focused. Trust yourself. Believe in yourself. And trust the process. Go with the flow. Going with the flow can be hard, yes. But sometimes it's what we need to do. Right? Sometimes it's the exact thing we need to do. When we try to figure out what's in the Christmas present, come Christmas morning, it's not fun or a surprise anymore, right? So how exciting is that? But when something happens and you see your intentions, your prayers, your manifestations come to fruition, it can feel like the most elating and wonderful feeling that can lead to a ton of other things that can leave you feeling great and elated. And that's the key. It's to keep building on these good vibrations. Every day is not going to be perfect, but how we react to them is our choice. Do you want to give up all of your good vibes because you had one wrong day or one bad day, or because something didn't start out right? Maybe you had 3 good days in a row and all of a sudden all hell feels like it's breaking loose. Don't give in to that feeling. Just stop, take a deep breath and say, no, you know what? I'm in charge here. So whatever bad energy is poking at me, go away. I was fighting with my hair this morning. I stopped. This is going to sound ridiculous to some people, but I literally stopped. I mean, I was swearing at my hair, dropping F-bombs and everything. And seriously, this is not the most complicated hairdo. But then I just stopped. I took a deep breath and said, no, you know what? And I literally said, if there's a hair angel if a hair angel of some sort exists, I need help with my hair. And then all of a sudden I had a solution. And poof, I was fine. And off I went. Because, I took that second to take a deep breath and remind myself I'm in charge, I'm in a good mood, and I'm not going to let something steal that good mood from me. It's not always easy, but as long as we keep some kind of handle on that good mood, even if you have a bad day, you'll be able to swing back around, remind yourself that this too shall pass, and tomorrow is another day. Take it moment by moment. Okay? If taking it day by day is too hard, take it moment by moment. And remember, speak positively, because what you say is what you hear, it's what your brain processes, and it's what you're going to see. And if you're constantly speaking negative, that's what you're constantly going to see. When you're constantly speaking positive, even when bad things happen, your reaction to it will probably be much different than if you were speaking negatively. You'll have a better handle on it. And you'll either say to yourself, you know what? Okay, this is that, it's going to be that kind of day, but this too shall pass. And even if it doesn't get better, you may have put the brakes on it getting any worse. All right, so just trust and believe. I know, and like I said, I know it can be hard, but hey, I'm the poster child for learning how to believe and trust. So I can honestly tell you that when you do those two things and you have faith in, just have faith that things are going to work out, they start to work out, and they start to work out in very beautiful and amazing ways. Okay, so I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful Friday. Happy Friday again. Happy Aloha Friday again. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Whatever you're doing this weekend, have fun. The Oscars are on Sunday. That's kind of a big thing in this house. So I'm super duper excited about that. I did see Belfast last night. Oh my God. That may be my top movie. But it was so good. It was so good. Sad. Like hauntingly beautiful is what I would call it. And I say hauntingly because these are events that really happened. The characters are semi made up. It's a rough version of Sir Kenneth Branagh's own life and things that happened with him. So it's kind of the 1969 in Northern Ireland through his eyes. And it's, like I said, it's just a very beautiful story. And when I say beautiful, I mean it's not all fun and games. There is some tension in it. There's just a lot of things, but it was just so good. You do not leave the theater feeling disappointed. So yeah. So anyways, so I'm excited. I'm excited to see how that goes. Again, I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. I will see everybody back here Monday, Hodgepodge Monday. Not sure what we're going to talk about yet, but I have 72 hours, so we'll figure something out, or I'll figure something. Why do I always say we? Seriously, I will figure something out. But maybe I say we in case anybody has any suggestions. Okay, so there you go. Older sibling actually had a good suggestion. I might actually figure out a way to implement that into Hodgepodge Monday. Social media and how it affects your mental health. Or kids, how it affects kids' mental health too. But, yeah, we'll see what happens. So, again, I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you so much for watching. See you back here Monday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Facebook Live, it is public. Anyone can watch. Or I do upload them to YouTube afterwards, the Aloha Perspective with Shelly Marie Lucas. And then I do sometimes share it to Twitter. So have a great day. Thank you so much for watching.